Good morning and welcome to this edition of Social Security Today. I'm Jeffrey Rodriguez. I'll be your host. I'm the Public Affairs Specialist for Social Security Administration here in the Orange County area. And just to kind of start off, I just say good morning and what a wonderful day. I'm just enjoying this month. I didn't even realize how quickly last month, August, went through. It was just a busy month, and all of a sudden I realized we're already in September. My goodness, and it's an action-packed September. And I want to start off with the Hispanic Heritage Month. It happens midway through this month, September 15th, runs through October 15th. And obviously, through my last name, you've probably noticed there that I am Hispanic. My grandparents from Mexico, my parents both born here in the States and in the Southern California area. I'm a native Southern California boy born in San Diego. But so when I look at and consider Hispanic Heritage Month, yes, there's a lot of things that we could look at. But in relationship to Social Security, I'm real proud because as I go out in the sense of being able to deliver messages and to present the Social Security information and just that whole advocacy side, the other area that I enjoy doing as well, not only just in my native language, English, but when required, puedo hablar español y puedo dirigirme y hablar con los hispanos en español y presentar la misma información en español. As I just said, I can present this information in Spanish. So for me, it's a wonderful thing that I can also refer back to our website, which those that go into our website have the ability to switch it over into the Spanish language. Obviously, and especially where we're at in Southern California, California in general, but specifically Southern California, there are many that speak Spanish or have that need for the language and maybe just feel more comfortable in their native language. Spanish being one of the highest spoken, we have the whole website that is the same exact thing that we would see when we go in on a normal, just clicking in and looking at www.socialsecurityadministration.org or .gov. We also have the ability to translate it, and everything is there in Spanish for them. Not only that, there's probably somewhere around, it's a little 100 plus, I'll say, different types of fact sheets, leaflets, any type of material that maybe we pick up on retirement and disability, Medicare, especially the basics. But we have over 100 that are presented in Spanish. And for me, again, those that when I go into different communities or when I deal with people that only speak maybe Spanish, and I'm using Spanish specifically right now because of the Hispanic Heritage Month, for me, I'm able to tell them not only that, you can go back and do the estimator in Spanish. They can file for their benefits online in Spanish. And for them, that just provides that comfort. But not only is there the Spanish language, and as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, but on the flip side, there's many other languages that we have a lot of this written material so that they can look at. We may not have the website in their language, but if you speak a different language or you're more comfortable, feel free to ask us to see if we have some of that information in the language that you prefer, and we definitely will provide that. Either way, whatever language you speak, whether it's a Hispanic, meaning the Spanish, or a derivative of a Latin-based or some other type of language, we do have free and no charge to our beneficiaries or those calling in, such as yourselves. If you need information, we can provide interpreters for any language. We have an agency that we use, and we're able to call in and get a third party that would be on there to translate any language, including if you needed and someone was coming into our offices and they needed American Sign Language, we can also bring in those interpreters for them. So any language that you speak, we want to make sure that we're able to communicate with you. It is that important to us to make sure that we're able to provide the information that you need, the information that you're looking for. And that you need to receive, to make sure that you have the right information and make your decisions based on that, not guessing or trusting someone else. So anytime that you're connecting to Social Security and you have a special need as far as a different language, just let us know. We'll get someone on the phone that either speaks your language if we have someone in office, or we'll use that outside translator company to agency to go ahead and help us so that we can communicate with you. Jumping in and going to the next topic, the My Social Security account. You know how important that is for us. If you go to our website, this www.socialsecurity.gov/my account, you'll go straight to that page. Or if you just go to our website and you scroll down, you'll see the section that talks about the My Social Security account. Once you connect to that, or you press on that button and it takes you to that page, you'll be able to see we have closing in on right in about 20 million Americans that have taken advantage and set up a My Social Security account. And everyone that I've spoke to, I can, and this is in all honesty, I cannot remember or think of any time that someone that has already connected and set up their My Social Security account has come back and said it's a horrible thing, I hated it. It's always been positive. They've always come back and said, I'm so glad I had that information. I could see my statement. I could check my information. I was able to look at my earnings record. I was able to print this information or that. I only receive positive feedback. So if you have not set up your My Social Security account, I strongly suggest that you do so. Take a look at all the information that's available there. As I mentioned kind of earlier, you're able to look at your earnings record, which is very important. I'll kind of touch in just a second as well in another section here in another topic. But it's important that you know and can verify that all of your earnings records, anywhere that you've worked, is listed there, because that's how we're going to calculate your benefits. It's going to be based on what you have earned throughout and paid into Social Security, into the Social Security tax. And so we want to make sure that that is correct. Kind of that's the first thing that you're going to check and make sure when you go into the site. Not only that, when you set up the account and you go in, there's going to be other things prior to setting up, whether you're estimating using the calculators to make sure and to make that decision of when to start and how much you're going to be receiving. Or if you're looking at post receiving benefits and you're already receiving those, then there's things like keeping up to date, keeping your information updated. If you need to change your bank account where you have your direct deposit. If you just need a benefit statement, you're able to print it out there. We're coming up, the end of the year will go by and we'll be back into tax season, not to scare you or anything like that, but when you're doing your taxes, you're going to need that 1099. Well, right on the My Social Security account, that's where you're going to be able to print that up. Now we've added in replacement Medicare cards. We've added in so many other things that we continue to, benefits that you're able to go back in and to do, and we'll continue to add to that the different online services that are available. So please go to that home page, set up your account, make sure that your account is there, review it. You should go in every few months just to make sure everything's correct. By doing so, you're also going to protect yourself from any type of fraud. If you don't set up your account, you're potentially allowing someone else to come in and set up that account. So we want you to go in, set up the account, set your own password up so it's protected and only you are looking at your information. In the next topic is our blog, and this is kind of a new thing that we're doing online and sending out, and I receive these myself. Even though I have all the different information internally through communications and for us to look at, I also have logged in and I receive the blogs and different information just like you would, the Social Security matters. And it's information, it changes, it's updating, it's constant information that we would like you to know. And think of it kind of as if, when you're driving, think of it as that dashboard, those different meters and different things that you need to take a look at that are going to affect you as you're going through life, the information that is important to you and to your benefits, obviously related to Social Security and to your account. So we're going to give you information. We're going to provide this information for you. So we want you to sign in, take a look at our blogs, go to our website. You can also just go in that way, whether you want to receive it into your email so you're automatically, like I do, and I love reading them to keep updated, or you may just go onto our website and then go over to the blog and take a look at what the information is. And as I said, the topics are always changing. There are tags, or there's different things you can do to look up some of the information. It's a great place just to read a little bit more into it. So as we provide that information on what our services do, the change, maybe those changes that are coming up, pending changes, it's a great way to receive that information. And since we use that Social Security matters because you matter to us, and we know that your Social Security matters to you. So as you look at Social Security matters, we truly are thinking of you when we're posting each of those thoughts. We're trying to figure out what's the information, what are the questions, what's the feedback that we're receiving that we can provide for you. Instead of just us trying to determine what we think is best for you, we're going to take a look and listen to what you have to say. So your feedback to us greatly helps us communicate the right information. So we thank those people that are taking the time to, so it's not a one-way street. Me or us, Social Security, just providing you information and just kind of speaking at you, but rather a conversation, a dialogue where we're providing information, you're giving us feedback and asking questions or requesting different information, and we're able to provide that not only just specifically to you, because we know that as your questions and your inquiries come up, then we're also pretty certain that there's other people around you in your community and across the nation that are receiving benefits or getting ready to receive benefits that will have very similar questions. So thank you once again for your questions and anything that you can help us in that way. Thank you. In regards to the next topic that I want to touch on, it's entitled This Fall, Ease into Retirement. And I don't know about you, September 23rd marks the first day of fall. And September 23rd, just to kind of share a little bit about me, and I always try to share a little bit something so you can get to know me, and hopefully as I'm out in the street or going around, if you've seen this show and you've heard my information and some of my personal information, I hope you share a little bit about yourself. I would love to know who you are and about you. But September 23rd, as I mentioned, not only is it the first day of fall, but it's also my mother's birthday. She'll be turning 83. So I wish my mom a happy birthday. And as we look at it, this is something that, this information, I wish I would have known more about Social Security when she started receiving her benefits. But even now, when my father passed away over 3 years ago, I was there with my mom when she applied for the survivor's benefits. And so, dates and things like this are always important to us. And the fall, speaking of just the fall, for me, I love the fall, not only just because my mother's birthday, but also the fall for me. When I went to school, when I went to college out in the Chicago area to Wheaton College, what I realized is that there was all this wonderful changes of seasons. See, I grew up in San Diego, as I mentioned earlier, and in San Diego, we don't have changing of seasons. The only change in seasons we know is because we're changing the calendar and we see it written, but it doesn't have really that much of effect. But for those of you, and I know there's a lot of transplants from the Midwest, from the East Coast, many of you that come from those areas where there is this true changing of seasons. We go through the summer, and right when we get to the point where we can't stand the heat or the humidity any longer, all of a sudden the fall kicks in, and that nice crisp coolness and the changes of the colors for me, just to go through the arboretums and see the different colors of leaves and the changes, the beautiful hues of red and orange and yellows, unbelievable. Something out here that we don't know of. People have to take a trip back east just to see that. But for those that have lived in those areas and now transplanted into Southern California, we experience the beautiful roundabout 70s average throughout the year. But we remember fall, and as I bring up fall, I bring it up because of this. Life has always kind of been associated with the different seasons of actual weather and that we know, the climate and the changes. And so fall representing that time in the summer where you've already worked and you've gone through that period of life where you're starting to wind down, you're going to hit into the fall, the retirement. Well, we at Social Security also want you, not only as you ease into the regular, wonderful fall-like weather to where it cools off and you can now put on the sweater in the cool of the evening. But in Social Security, we want you also to feel that same comfort, that coziness of being around maybe a fireplace, that same coziness of warming up to a cup of coffee, hot chocolate, whatever your liking is, putting on your favorite sweater. Social Security also provides a lot of that same comfort. As I mentioned, going and setting up the My Social Security account, but besides that, just on our website, there's calculators, estimators that will help you make sure that you're setting up and that you're making the right choices for your future. So when it comes to Social Security and how much of the retirement benefits, when am I going to start retirement benefits, all those types of questions, we want you to be informed. And I can only be out and speak in so many places. Our claims representative, service representatives in the field office, they can only help so many people. Our offices get full. Our phone lines are busy. We know that. People want to know the information. And where I keep directing them back to is our website, because really that is the best place to start your journey of information. Start peeling through and looking at the information, find out for you. And then once you're informed and then you have maybe specific questions, that's the right time then to reach out to us if you're not able to receive it first, going to our website. So as the fall comes in, or maybe as you're starting your retirement journey and you're trying to put that together, or you're planning that retirement trip and when you're going to settle in and finally stop working and you're looking at how much benefits, make sure you do those things that are important. Look at your earnings record. Is it correct? Set up the My Social Security account so you can do that, as well as you're able to go in and look at the calculators. If you're going to start on that date, will it be sufficient with the different types of income that you maybe will have through an outside pension or savings and retirement? Are you going to be ready and comfortable in order financially to retire? So all those things will help you do so. And not only that, there's a lot of other great information that we really just don't have the time to touch on, or the level of detail that wouldn't be appropriate in this type of venue with me coming into your homes and you viewing it. It really requires you to sit down and dig a little deeper on your own. And then when you have those questions that you're unable to answer through the information on our website and you're ready to start your retirement, maybe you're getting that clarification through a phone call to our office or setting up an appointment, and then thereafter you go back, you're still going to use the website, file your retirement online, and most likely most people don't even have to come into the office. There's nothing to be signed thereafter. If there is a form or a document we need, we'll let you know. But other than that, you're probably going to be pretty much set and ready to retire. So as you look at that, 3 months is usually what we say. We have a systems limitation, so no more than 3 months ahead of time will you be able to go in and set up your retirement date that you want to start on. And keep in mind, the month that you start your benefits, since we pay for the entire month for that benefit, it's paid the following, kind of like a paycheck. You go to work, you work for a week or two, and then the following week they pay you. Well, our benefits are monthly. So the month that you're going to start, let's say that this coming month of October is a month you're going to start receiving your benefits. You want to retire this month in September. All this talk about fall and retirement has just said you caused something and you said, yep, that's what I'm going to do. And October's the month where you want to start your benefits. Well, the October benefit would be paid in the following month, October into November. And that's when you receive that benefit. So keep those things in mind. And as you go through our website, it talks about that so that you can plan accordingly. Also, this month of September, as we go in this first weekend, is when we're going to be celebrating Labor Day. So I say to all of you, happy Labor Day. Enjoy the weekend, whether you're staying at home and just getting away from the movement of maybe the excess traffic, or you're going down to the beach, enjoying it. Really, the thing about Labor Day is we all worked so hard, whether it's physically now that we're working or things that we're doing, and we look to Labor Day as kind of that end of summer. We know we're going to be starting in the fall. If we have children in school, they've gone back, or in college, they've started their studies again, and everything kind of settles into that. And Labor Day really provides that one last break, if you will, and finish summer, go out and enjoy the weekend, and then we kind of wrap up and we get settled in for the rest of the year. So as you enjoy your Labor Day, it's been around. It was initiated and started back in 1882. So people have enjoyed Labor Day for many years now and gone through, and it's just a tradition here in America, in the United States, that people will go out and just enjoy this weekend. But do it in a safe manner, be conscious of others, and enjoy it. I know that I'll be enjoying the 3 days, visiting family or spending time with friends and family. I would suggest you do likewise. So as Labor Day kind of reminds us, and for me, again, tying into what we just talked about with the fall, Labor Day does kind of that same thing. As you're still out there, maybe if you're working or you've stopped working and you're considering your benefits, it really allows you to say, okay, do I have enough credits? And when I say credits, what I'm talking about is these quarterly credits. See, when you work and you pay into Social Security, currently this year, $1,220 will get you 1 quarterly credit. That quarterly credit, you can obviously, quarter means 4, so there's 4 maximum credits that you can earn in 1 year. So this year, if someone is working and they get 4 credits, they've already worked enough over that $1,220 for each, meaning $4,880 more of earnings that they've paid into Social Security. Then they have their 4 credits for this year. After the 10 years of that type of work, or what we say 40 credits, then someone has at least a minimum benefit. They will receive and they will be eligible to receive retirement benefits through Social Security. And the reason I say at least a minimum benefit is because although 10 years will get you, that 40 credits will ensure that you're eligible to a benefit, in reality what we look at is 35 years. It's a long period of time, 35 years. So if you've just done 10 years and you hit the 40 credits, you're a third of what we really look at when we develop your calculation. So what we ask is, make sure, one, that you have enough credits and that they're there. So let's say you started working later in life, or you maybe worked and then didn't work for a long period of time, or you worked and paid into a different system and not Social Security. Kind of opens up another door. But at least if you're looking at your credits and you're a couple shy, maybe you've hit 38 or 36, well, you got to return and get those few more credits in order to be eligible for a benefit. So the best way to check, of course, you know what I'm going to tell you. You're going to go to our website, you're going to sign up for the My Social Security account, and you're going to be able to check to make sure you have the quarters. If you have the sufficient quarters, the 40 quarters, you meet the minimum to receive a benefit, in your statement it'll show an amount. If not, then we're going to let you know where you're at and what you need to do in order to obtain those. Also, not only you're looking at credits for yourself, and you've worked hard. You also need to take into consideration and trying to determine when it's best for you to file for benefits is those other persons that are eligible, meaning a spouse that you've been married to, or that you're currently married to, or been married to over for 10 years. That spouse is going to be eligible to benefits. Same kind of criteria, age 62, work limits, no more than the $15,720 this year. If someone is working and earning more than that, then they're not retired. Retired meaning you're no longer working, you're not earning. We allow at least a $15,000 plus or minus limit. And so if you're below that, then maybe you're going to consider you're over age 62, whether the number holder starting up so that the spouse can also receive benefits. And of course, children that are under the age of 18 are also eligible. So your hard work can pay a lot of different beneficiaries depending on the situation they're at home. Children under the age of 18, or adult children that were disabled prior to age 22. So enjoy your Labor Day. This next weekend for me kicks in and reminds me that Labor Day kind of serves for me, because when we hit Labor Day, I know I'm close to my anniversary date. So September 10th for me, I'll be hitting 21 years of marriage, and I am looking forward to celebrating with my wife, not only our hard work, but our hard work at our marriage. So I congratulate my wife for putting up with me for 21 years. Getting back to Social Security, let's jump through a couple questions and answers that I can share with you. The first one is, how do I terminate my Medicare Part B? Let's say you go back to work and you have coverage through work and you don't want to take the Part B, or it started up and you weren't really meaning for it to start for some reason, you're receiving retirement benefits or spousal benefits, and the Medicare at 65 will kick in if you're receiving benefits automatically and you don't want it, how do you terminate? Very easy. It's voluntary. With the Medicare Part B, Medicare in general is voluntary, so you can terminate it at any time. So if you walk in and you tell us that you no longer want to receive that, then you can file and set up, and we'll need, because, and think of it, it's really, this is such a serious decision if you're going to stop Medicare, that we won't take just a phone call from someone, or that we need an actual signature. We need, consider that wet signature on a paper. You're going to have to fill out a form and say, I want to stop and terminate my Medicare Part B, because we want to make sure that you understand what you're doing, the possible penalties if you don't have coverage, and you're going to want to eventually try to come back and get the Medicare Part B. So we want it is easy. You can call our 800 number, 1-800-77 1213. You can make and schedule an appointment, come in, or just walk into our offices Monday through Friday. We're open from 9 to 4, except for Wednesdays when we close at noon, so Wednesdays 9 to noon, and we'll help you with that, but we do need to make sure that that's what you want to do. And speaking about Medicare, keep in mind, if you can save the date, October 22nd, and we'll bring some more information on our next program just to remind you, and you'll start to see this if you have it. October 22nd here in Laguna Woods in Clubhouse number 5, we're going to have the annual Medicare Marketplace. And so take advantage, come in and hear the information. There's going to be different speakers on different topics, presenting a lot of different information that you'll need to know, as well as great information for Medicare and upcoming, and how you can prepare for that open time when you can go back in and maybe make the changes that are needed. So keep that October 22nd open for that date and possibly. And I'll close on this. So let's say that you had applied for a replacement Social Security card and you needed one, and you haven't received it yet. It's, you're looking at it, it's been a while, and trying to figure out, when am I going to receive my card? I need it. Some agency or someone is asking for that. Well, usually it takes about 10 days. But there's a lot of things that we also maybe have to follow up verification with different agencies to make sure that you're eligible to that replacement card. So if it's taking a little longer and it's gotten maybe to that 2-week, 3-week period, that's the appropriate time to contact us and just make sure everything's in place, or that we're not requiring something from you. So you would contact the office where you applied for that card. So as we kind of wrap up this day and we look up, I like to close off always and just remind you to enjoy. Have a wonderful September, Labor Day, and fall as we start it. I appreciate the time to allow me to come in and share Social Security information with you, and I look forward to the next time. Enjoy, and God bless, and especially here in Laguna Woods.